March 1st, 2025. U.S. aid cuts force UNICEF to scale back Lebanon nutrition programs. Elon Musk welcomes 14th child. Selden Lycurgus. Billionaires don't want Trump's golden visa. Trump advances over $3 billion weapons sales to Israel. Slime and punishment. Tantrum and Oval clash. Shame. 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 Park rangers battle Australians seeking rare earth minerals in old Mojave gold mine. Pope Francis inhaled vomit after suffering latest health setback. High-stakes gamble. Top Zelensky advisor pushed for Oval Office mineral deal signing against Trump envoy Kellogg's advice. Tonight, all the planets will align. Sorry, Pluto. Someone says he captured them in one photo for the first time. What to know about the Epstein files release, from redactions to rickrolling. FBI finally returns Trump's belongings confiscated during 2022 Mar-a-Lago raid. Federal workers told once again to justify their work to Doge. Trump and Vance ambush Zelensky in prelude to betrayal. Carbon monoxide poisoning ruled out in death of Gene Hackman and wife, police say. He's not a MAGA guy. Donald Trump has doubts about Pierre Poilievre, and don't get him started on Chrystia Freeland. Trump says cocaine found in White House belonged to either Joe or Hunter. Trump-Zelensky deal dead after Oval Office shouting match. March 2nd, 2025. PKK declares ceasefire in 40-year conflict with Turkey. NATO's Rutte calls on Zelensky to mend his relationship with Trump. Trump's firing of whistleblower agency head ruled unlawful. Vance family moved to undisclosed location after pro-Ukrainian protesters disrupt ski trip. Go ski in Russia. James Carville suggests Trump has syphilis after Zelensky meet. Sean Diddy Combs and Luigi Mangione on lockdown as race riot erupts in Brooklyn federal jail. A secretive movement known as #AltGov is openly rebelling against Trump and Musk from inside our federal agencies. Zelensky promised Britain's full backing with calls to cancel Trump's UK visit. Andrew Cuomo announces he's running for mayor of New York City. Donald Trump's worst week yet. Hero bus driver saves 15 children from burning school bus. Trump admin orders military to remove all DEI content. Rubio speeds up U.S. arms supplies to Israel. Lisa Murkowski slams Trump administration over Russia-Ukraine war stance. Sick to my stomach. Diddy's lawyers says no celeb sex tapes or minors in federal prosecution. Trust in the media hits all-time low in 50 years. Pentagon deploys troops and armored vehicles to southern border. March 3rd, 2025. UK Starmer says Europe is at crossroads in history as leaders agree to steps to Ukraine peace. Academy announces new Oscar award most likely to be on Epstein list. Oscars finally swipe at Trump after more than 3 hours. Blame game. Liberal senator runs for cover after NBC hosts asks if Dems should have done more to cut waste under Biden. Fuel to the fire. NATO ally makes stance with U.S. Navy clear after company calls for boycott over Trump. Trump administration uses emergency powers to rush another $4 billion in military aid to Israel. Latin America's new right ushers in Pan-American Trumpism. LA podcast host says he called 911 and waited on hold for an hour. What if my son was choking? Keir Starmer announces £1,600,000,000 deal for thousands of missiles for Ukraine. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth orders a halt to offensive cyber operations against Russia. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth warned Mexican leaders the U.S. is prepared to come after cartels. We're on the moon. Private Blue Ghost spacecraft makes an historic lunar landing. Stephen A. Smith slams pathetic Democrat Party as strategists consider him for 2028 presidential bid. Trump has no idea where most of the Ukraine aid went, and honestly, who does? Mike Myers sports at Canada is not for sale tea on Saturday Night Live. Trump has glossed over high prices. Republicans worry it will cost them. Zelensky signals he's still ready to sign minerals deal after Oval Office meltdown. March 4, 2025. Netanyahu warns Hamas of consequences it cannot imagine if Gaza hostage is not freed. Beijing retaliates after Trump's levies hit China, Canada, and Mexico. Trump pauses military aid to Ukraine following Zelensky feud. He should be more appreciative because this country has stuck with him. Canada bites back with billion-dollar Trump tariff revenge. Dem Rep Crockett says Trump is an enemy to the United States. Trump donors try to buy Pittsburgh mayor's race. Donald Trump teases tomorrow will be big in cryptic social media post. A right-wing group accused NASCAR of discrimination against white dudes. It's a blueprint for Trump. The consequences of Trump's order making English the official language of America. Tim Walz says he might run for president in 2028 and the internet is just loving it. Severe weather and critical fire risk, ranked multi-hazard, expected nationwide. Head of New York's FBI field office James Dennehy says he has been forced to retire. Churchill's grandnephew lashes out at Zelensky comparisons. One of their top executives was gunned down in Manhattan. 5 months later, the industry partied 7 blocks away. It was a revealing night. DOJ pushes for immediate Trump takeover of agency flooded with fired worker appeals. Where Jeff Bezos went wrong with the Washington Post. Vance urges Zelensky to change tune on ceasefire. Trump the only game in town. March 5, 2025. Trump airs grievances and charts MAGA plan in address before bitterly divided Congress. Trump asks for funding for mass deportation and repeats debunked claims. Senator Alyssa Slotkin delivers Democratic response to Trump's speech. Victory lap. Trump overpowers Democrat protests with verbal highlight reel of first 6 weeks in office. Trump designates boy with brain cancer as an honorary Secret Service agent in emotional moment. Zelensky publicly surrenders to Trump, says he will work under Trump's strong leadership. Former fire chief Kristen Crowley loses bid to get her job back, winning just 2 votes. Trump didn't care about these Democrats' silent pink protest, but it's not for him. Ben Shapiro just laid out the case for Trump to pardon Derek Chauvin. Truckload of evidence. AG Pam Bondi says more Epstein files have been delivered to FBI HQ. Trump administration ready sale of 10 Oregon federal buildings. Jennifer Hudson hit in the face by a ball while sitting courtside at Knicks game. Zelensky offers to sign U.S. deal and skips apology. C.K. Hutchison to sell unit operating near Panama Canal amid Trump pressure. Congressman Al Green removed from Trump address after heckling incident. Faster Pussycat. Singer's fiancé dead after falling off cruise ship. David Olive says forget annexation. How Trump tariffs are driving a distrusted and friendless America ever closer to insolvency. March 6, 2025. New Zealand sacks diplomat who questioned Trump's understanding of World War II. Trump to delay Canada and Mexico tariffs on autos for 1 month. U.S. has halted sharing intelligence with Ukraine, CIA director says. Trump to tear down America's education system in just hours with bombshell executive order targeting the Department of Education. Medical horror. Mother and daughter undergo gender transition to become father and son. Trump's genocidal threat to Gaza. If Hamas won't release hostages, you are dead. Russian warship spotted moving weapons through English Channel. 2 charged in Kansas City Chiefs fans' deaths 14 months after bodies found frozen in backyard. Doge set to cancel lease on Weather Nerve Center as tornado season begins. House clerk changes official transcript of Republican Congresswoman's speech to fit transgender reps' preferred pronouns. Consumers can buy Zepbound and Wegovy direct from drug makers if they pay cash. EU security could crumble without U.S. support. U.S. says China operates hacker-for-hire network for cyberattacks worldwide. Canada is killing our people. Donald Trump and J.D. Vance demand Canada halt to counter tariffs and increase border security during heated call with Trudeau. China is secretly worried Trump will win on trade. Mike Johnson's chief of staff charged with DUI after Trump addressed to Congress. And Trump's GOP, a twist of Reagan's peace through strength. March 7, 2025. China's foreign minister criticizes U.S. tariffs and accuses the country of meeting good with evil. SpaceX's Starship spacecraft explodes mid-flight for a second time, disrupting Florida air traffic. Hegseth's frenzied DEI purge targets gay World War II plane. Tulsi Gabbard reveals CIA swamp worse than she thought. Inside Trump's bold plan to save America from a nuclear apocalypse and the terrifying reality of what happens if it fails. GOP legislators propose end the Fed bill to abolish Federal Reserve. Crossbow killer Kyle Clifford watched Andrew Tate videos before triple murder. The entire system will collapse. Inside the purge of U.S. immigration courts. Trump's crypto reserve lays the groundwork for the largest bailout in history. Amy Coney Barrett and John Roberts become a thorn in Trump's side. China has been crapping all over the USA this week with actual threats. The replies from the White House make me proud to be an American. Intuitive Machines sends another probe to the moon, but can't stick the landing. Hunter Biden claims financial struggles, blames drop in art sales, and LA fires and legal filing. Party of insanity and hate. U.S. Democrats show their true colors. Army trio plan to share defense secrets with China, says U.S. Justice Department. New York police detective twerking hard off the clock and stars as stripper in rap video. California Dems sickened after Newsom backpedals on trans sports. March 8, 2025. Gene Hackman died at home a week after wife Betsy Arakawa died from hantavirus, authorities say. Trump says he sent a letter to Iran's leader proposing a nuclear deal. Man builds time machine just to go back to when he had never heard of Andrew Tate. Lying sideways on the moon, the Athena lander is declared dead. I watched Meghan Markle's Netflix show and need a lobotomy. Horror as 14-year-old gunman goes on rampage shooting dead a cop and spraying another with bullets. Fake alien invasion alert. Disclosure Project founder Dr. Stephen Greer issues an emergency warning to Trump. The global transnational deep state is preparing to launch a massive fake alien invasion designed to cause a societal collapse 100x worse than their COVID attack. Why MAGA is suddenly calling Justice Amy Coney Barrett a DEI hire. Elon Musk's Starlink has a growing footprint in the federal government. A top Canadian politician wants European nukes as protection from the U.S. South Carolina conducts first U.S. firing squad execution in 15 years. Barbaric. Texts on night of Idaho college student murders show panic inside house. Canada is seeking allies in its fight with Donald Trump. It's not easy to find them. The View's Joy Behar's comments on organ transplants were totally unspooled. Democrats are busy fighting over what to fight over. Missouri wins $24 billion judgment against China for unleashing COVID-19. U.S. suspends commercial satellite imagery service to Ukraine. March 9, 2025. Why women aren't getting menopause help they need. Social Security goes after overpayments, reversing Biden policy. Mike Myers channels Dr. Evil for return as Elon Musk in SNL Cold Open. New MAGA FBI chief unveils bonkers paranoid demands. Personal invasion. Vance says he was confronted by protesters while walking with his child. Shit person. Trump invites Iran leader to nuclear talks. Or else. The View host Sunny Hostin says Democrats must be willing to fight and die to defeat Trump. Tourist, 27, and her host gang raped while stargazing in India. RFK Jr.'s embrace of junk science like cod liver oil is putting children's lives in danger. DHS is performing polygraph tests on employees to find leakers. Experts warn that recent school shootings show growth in new radicalization pattern. Agriculture Secretary cancels $600,000 grant to study menstrual cycles in trans men. Chinese parents planning on U.S.-born babies face limbo in wake of Trump order. Wait, who is posting those unflattering J.D. Vance memes? Joe Rogan tells Kanye West he's texting with scammer, not actually him. Walz blames Harris campaign strategy to avoid media for election loss. Anger at Elon Musk turns violent with Molotov cocktails and gunfire at Tesla lots. March 10, 2025. Secret Service bosses ordered JFK's motorcade to slow down precisely where Lee Harvey Oswald was waiting, and other bombshells about two foiled assassination plots days earlier. Defense lawyers in Trump assassination attempt case tour Trump golf course. The Trump White House has put colleges in a terrible can't-win situation. Democrats? Dems think swearing like drunken sailors will help make Americans like them. Dem Senator ditches wife for CEO of Democrat media operation. Trump's podcast pals are mainstreaming America's worst anti-Jewish conspiracy theories. Mexican mafia smuggled heroin with Pringles, secret code, and LA jail deputy, records say. Trump is building his U.S. utopia on a paradox. Trump won't deny there could be a recession. Warns of period of transition in economy. Trudeau era over. Canadian Liberals select globalist technocrat Mark Carney as Prime Minister. Game on. Canada's new PM immediately takes shot at Trump over trade war and 51st state comments. will destroy our way of life. Elon and Marco bury hatchet and team up to bully key ally. Be quiet, small man. Musk clashes with Polish FM over Starlink in Ukraine. Lindsey Graham says halting Ukraine aid would be worse than Afghanistan. NASA lunar experiment establishes first ever GPS signal on another planetary surface. China's falling arms imports signal massive growth in military self-reliance. Fans beg Kanye West, please no more, after he posts most heinous image yet. March 10, 2025. Wall Street fears Trump will wreck the soft landing. Short-term pain. Ignore the stock market, Wall Street dealing with painful detox from government spending addiction. Trump administration eyes 30% payroll reduction at National Park Service. Secretary of State Rubio says purge of USAID programs complete, with 83% of agencies' programs gone. USAID funded Ukraine group that smeared Vance. Slamming the door. Tulsi Gabbard strips security clearances of 51 officials who signed Hunter Biden laptop letter. Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth says Pentagon does not do climate change crap, doubling down on ignorance. Trump repurposes CBP One app to encourage migrants to self-deport. Iran, Russia, and China begin annual joint exercise in Indian Ocean. Donald Trump angry after King Charles welcomed Justin Trudeau and Volodymyr Zelensky, says British media. Former CDC boss reveals bombshell new evidence of COVID cover-up and says father of the virus Fauci concealed Wuhan lab leak to protect U.S. spies embedded in China. Philippine ex-president Rodrigo Duterte arrested on ICC warrant. We've got a surprise new episode of Deep Thoughts with Kamala Harris where she tries to discuss how big tech tracks consumers. New low. Republicans rip blue state governor for declaring a day that celebrates abortion. NORAD warns of excessive increase in pilots violating Mar-a-Lago airspace. Boy, 10, crushed to death after 24-stone foster mom sat on him for misbehaving. Police have video of Faster Pussycat singer's fiancé jumping from cruise ship before death. March 12, 2025. Donald Trump doubles down and declares he will make Canada 51st state. Separatists hijack train in Pakistan, say they will blow it up, kill hostages if demands aren't met. Have Chinese scientists just dashed humanity's last hopes to win in air combat? Canada drops 25% electricity tariff following Trump's retaliation threats. U.S. to resume security support to Ukraine as Kyiv says it is ready to accept ceasefire proposal. Cut off. Trump admin pauses millions in funding to Maine universities as state defies executive order. Trump's mandate. Education Secretary Linda McMahon says mass layoffs are first step toward eliminating agency. Not taking away education. U.S. Education Department to lay off 1,300 people as Trump vows to close agency. USAID staff rush to shred and burn documents. Trump counselor Elena Habba shows off puppet Biden's fake Oval Office set equipped with teleprompter. Musk literally gave Trump a script for desperate Tesla ad. Donald Trump amplifies stunning message amid looming recession fears. Shut up about egg prices. LA has big plans to rebuild after the fires. Good luck getting insurance. Where are they now? The left's darling cable stars fade into obscurity during Trump 2.0. Kamala Harris mocked for bizarre Doritos-fueled word salad at conference. Anthony Mackie says Eminem tricked me and used my life story for 8 Mile final rap battle. The team behind a new blockbuster says its villain isn't based on Trump. Yeah, right. March 13, 2025. Stepmommy Dearest. Connecticut mom allegedly held gaunt stepson captive for decades before he lit fire to escape inhumane conditions. Something out of a horror movie. AOC faces ethics complaint over $4,000 in payments for dance training. Border Patrol agent rams driverless car rolling into traffic after teen illegal bails out. Putin's sinister plot to destabilize the U.S. and torpedo Trump's Ukraine peace deal is revealed in bombshell classified document. Trump takes an axe to pollution rules. Thousands of acres of protected Amazon rainforest cleared to build highway for UN climate summit. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth orders force-wide review of existing fitness and grooming standards. SpaceX mission to bring home Starliner astronauts postponed due to hydraulic issue. Country roads. Lobbyists descend on red state capitol to protest Maha-inspired food dye ban. Trump vowed to fix the economy. His voters are still waiting. Police in peril. Dem lawmaker pushes bill to legalize attacks on officers under certain circumstances. Schumer says Democrats will block GOP plan to avert shutdown. Liberals defeat Nazis by painting swastikas everywhere and torching immigrant businesses. Cheating scandal shocks ski jumping, topples Olympic champions and shakes Norway's lofty reputation. Snow White actor says cast was screwed by Disney scrapping big premiere. Judge temporarily blocks Trump order punishing law firm tied to Clinton. Nobody is safe. Canada sends world a warning against Trump. March 14, 2025. American Airlines plane erupts in flames at Denver airport as terrified passengers are forced to escape onto wing. Chuck Schumer already caving on shutting down the government, and House Democrats are super angry. Party of NPCs. Over 49 Democrat Congress members post identical tweets opposing spending resolution. Elon Musk wants to use AI to run U.S. government, but experts say very bad idea. Trump expected to invoke Alien Enemies Act of 1798 to boost deportation into hyperdrive, with main target being Venezuelan gangbangers. U.S. annexation of Greenland will happen and NATO could get involved, says Trump. Trump's economic war on Canada looks like a first step toward an annexation attempt. Chopping block. Doge says it cut 239 contracts in 2 days, including food justice grant for trans farmers. U.S. facing new prohibition era after Donald Trump's latest rant about alcohol. Taiwan's president labels China a foreign hostile force and ramps up security measures citing infiltration. Turkish ministers hold talks in Kyiv for post-war reconstruction. Cost of undocumented healthcare in California is billions over estimates, pressuring Democrats to consider cuts. Be the bigger person. Kamala campaign's latest reported scapegoat for failure. Her chair height. Tiger Woods secretly dating Vanessa Trump. They're a good match. Kim Kardashian offered to buy her dad's Bible for $15,000. OJ's estate says no. Feds torpedo narco submarine plot, grabs thousands of kilos of coke. How to see the bloodworm moon total lunar eclipse tonight. March 15, 2025. Dangerous weekend tornado outbreak puts 100 million at risk. Trump takes a boom mic to the face. U.S. says South African ambassador no longer welcome. Trump, in call to Putin, urged Moscow to spare Ukrainian soldiers' lives amid imminent ceasefire. Hunted down. President Trump says ISIS leader's miserable life was terminated in joint U.S.-Iraq operation. Trump uses Justice Department speech to air grievances against his enemies. If Trump is contemplating defying the Supreme Court, he should remember Nixon first. Trump is unleashing a chaos economy. Consumers and businesses send distress signal as economic fear sets in. Pharma exec's home torched in possible arson attack as fears grow for corporate bigwig safety. Uniting anger. Democrats fume over Schumer's handling of funding fight. Democratic Congresswoman says we need migrants so Americans can go to college instead of working the fields. Vance hints Biden's wife ran the U.S. New report says no clarity on who actually approved what, Biden or his aide. Crew lifts off on SpaceX mission to replace stuck NASA astronauts. Arrested development. Trans Tesla vandal, who allegedly threw Molotov cocktails at cars, lives with mom and calls herself baby. Gal Gadot and co-star Rachel Zegler have nothing in common as tension surrounds Snow White release. March 16, 2025. Tornado outbreak live updates. 40 tornadoes and 34 dead in cross-country storm system. A river dried overnight in Zambia after an acidic waste spill at a Chinese-owned mine. Trump launches overwhelming lethal force on Houthi pirates that have terrorized ships passing through the Suez Canal for the past year. Trump invokes 1798 Alien Enemies Act to expedite gang deportations. Feeling the turbulence. Fed judge orders deportation flights carrying alleged Venezuelan gangbangers to return to U.S. and blocks Trump from invoking Alien Enemies Act. Trump's humiliation of Zelensky is plain as day in the rare minerals deal. Federal workers cast Trump's many Mar-a-Lago trips as working from home. Heartwarming moment of Trump with Musk's son Lil X goes viral. Appeasement is failing. Why fighting back against Trump is the only option. Kanye West premieres song featuring Daughter North and Sean Diddy Combs, which Kim Kardashian tried to stop from release. LA man scalded by Starbucks drink is awarded $50 million. Mark Carney reviews Canada's order of F-35 jets amid rift with U.S. There's a good chance your kid uses AI to cheat. U.S. risks being left in Chinese plasma engines' wake as Mars race intensifies. U.S. Cold War propaganda outfit decries funding cut. Is Chuck Schumer spineless? It's much more complicated than that. They look like Nazi salutes. Here's why some people think they're a joke. March 17, 2025. At least 59 people killed in nightclub fire in North Macedonia. Houthis post message involving American flag-draped coffins after Trump launches strike in Yemen. Ansar Allah pledges to make America repent for electing Trump. White House touts deportation of alleged gang members that court ordered returned to U.S. Navy warship deployed on U.S.-Mexico border mission. Drone swarms inside the U.S. could be spying. Trump's attacks on DEI have Christians in the crosshairs. Trump hits all-time high approval rating as Dems see new low. Sign of the times. Trump takes jab at Biden after report raises alarm on who was running the country during his term. SpaceX Dragon docks with ISS, met by alien, as stranded astronauts prepare to return to Earth. Gene Hackman mystery as wife's doctor claims she called him after she died. NYC man eats dead rat in front of stunned witness. NAACP backs high school runner who bashed competitor in head with baton. Developer faces 10 years in federal prison for using kill switch to wipe out employer's network after he was fired. U.S. must return Statue of Liberty to France, say member of European Parliament. Why the choice of the next Dalai Lama is such a sensitive issue for Beijing. The world's deadliest infectious disease is about to get worse. March 18, 2025. Shalom, Hamas. IDF pounding Gaza with massive aerial bombing. Trump reasserts U.S. as the world's policeman with massive Yemen escalation. Trump tries to void Biden's pardons, blaming autopin. Many presidents have used it. End of the grift. Trump says he's ending Secret Service protection for Hunter Biden. Deported Brown University doctor acknowledged she attended Hezbollah leader's funeral on visit to Lebanon, source says. NASA astronauts heading back to Earth on SpaceX Dragon capsule after being stranded on ISS for months. FDA return to work mandate results in absolute chaos. Unusual zombie phenomenon is linked to LA fire that killed 17 and wiped out entire neighborhood. Democrat terror campaign continues. 6 more conservative influencers swatted over weekend. In your face. The brutal aesthetics of MAGA. Tracy Morgan taken out of Knicks game in a wheelchair after courtside medical incident delays play. Morgan Stanley went big on DEI, and no one is happy about it. A very conservative judge just delivered excellent news to the gun safety movement. Scientists want to use water-bear RNA to make people radiation-proof. Mark Carney tells reporter to look inside yourself over questions on blind trust. Elon Musk installs quick and dirty turbines to power XI's Memphis data centers. Researcher at isolated Antarctic base assaulted and threatened to kill colleague. March 19, 2025. Putin agrees to 30-day halt on energy facility strikes, but no full Ukraine ceasefire. SpaceX Crew Dragon capsule carrying astronauts returns to Earth after being stuck for 286 days. Unredacted. Trump administration releases JFK assassination files. Federal judge blocks Trump administration from banning transgender people from military service. Judge rules Trump's USAID dismantling probably violates the Constitution. Trump fires FTC's only 2 Democrats. The president just illegally fired me. DOJ asserts Trump hypothetically has power to purge all female agency heads, or those over 40. China's HQ-19 system to shield against hypersonic weapons and nuclear threats. France to deploy nuclear-armed planes to German border. Prince Harry's U.S. immigration files unsealed after legal challenge amid memoir's drug use disclosure. Bill Clinton rape accuser, Juanita Broderick, swatted in another leftist domestic terror attack. Louisiana executes inmate with nitrogen gas method for first time. 2 men convicted in San Antonio human smuggling case in which 53 people died. Jury convicts man who used splendid gold toilet and then stole it. Sean Diddy Combs didn't know his prison call with Kanye West was being recorded. Justin Trudeau might be in his divorced dad era, posting selfie in Canadian Tire with shopping cart full of kitchen utensils. Switzerland buys $117 million luxury jet that is too big for capital's runways or hangars. March 20th, 2025. Police and SWAT respond to armed gunmen at CIA headquarters. Trump threatens Houthis that they'll be completely annihilated as U.S. airstrikes pound Yemen. Trump floats idea of U.S. owning Ukraine power plants as he pushes ceasefire. Class dismissed. Trump to sign executive order eliminating the Department of Education. Going gold. Trump's gilded White House makeover. Trump administration erases prohibition on segregated facilities and federal contracts. Trump and Musk are running a disinformation campaign on Social Security. Trump will run again in 2028, says Steve Bannon. This has got to be the most Hitler-curious administration in U.S. history. Pentagon wants to send hundreds of troops at Guantanamo Bay home. Dark energy. Mysterious cosmic force appears to be weakening, say scientists. Some woke wacko just published the names, addresses, and phone numbers of Tesla owners because, of course. Rick Wilson locked out of X account after promoting threatening post against Musk and Tesla. Tim Walz says takes great pleasure in watching Tesla stocks go down and MAGA men are scared of his masculinity. CNN panelist so demoralized by Trump she doesn't even care if Dems win House in 2026. Georgetown professor detained by ICE claims he has been doxxed and smeared before jaw-dropping Hamas link emerges. Jury says Greenpeace owes hundreds of millions of dollars for Dakota pipeline protest. March 21st, 2025. Bibi Netanyahu gifts John Fetterman silver pager. Pentagon set up briefing for Elon Musk on potential war with China. France to direct its citizens to become preppers as it prepares for nuclear war. Trump's appetite for revenge is insatiable. MAGA is raging hard against the judges who get in its way. In the hot seat, FBI arrests former agent who said Rudy Giuliani might have been compromised by Russian intelligence. Trump signs order to shut down education department in front of students sitting at desks. Game over. States universities cave to Trump on trans athletes after admin pauses funding. I wish you'd be angry. California Democrats face voter fury over Trump and Elon Musk. Pam Bondi announces charges against individuals participating in domestic terrorism against Tesla properties. Liberal comedians are joining in on justifying violence against Tesla dealerships. Trump rescinds executive order after law firm agrees to provide $40 million in free services. Kyiv uses McDonald's to replenish depleted army ranks. Kim Kardashian called emergency hearing with Kanye West after being told Tate brothers were visiting him with kids present. Teacher accused of gangbang with junior high students wearing screen masks. Ice cold case. Inside Antarctic bases near constant darkness and extreme isolation that drove researcher mad in real-life horror movie. CBS News makes humiliating move amid ratings disaster and latest sign woke network has hit rock bottom. March 22nd, 2025. Judge upbraids DOJ for defying his orders in Alien Enemies Act case. Trump revokes legal status for 530,000 Cubans, Haitians, Nicaraguans, and Venezuelans. Caving to Trump's demands, Columbia University says it will ban mask wearing. Trump says Education Department will no longer oversee student loans or special needs. Make America Great Again. Trump revokes security clearances for Joe Biden, Kamala Harris, and Hillary Clinton. Time to move on. Joe and Jill Biden reportedly tried to quietly weasel back into Democratic leadership. Trump says U.S. is very well equipped to handle a potential war with China. China unveils a powerful deep-sea cable cutter that could reset the world order. U.S. blocking Canadian access to historical library on Quebec-Vermont border. And milestone, LA approves first permits for rebuilding homes after Palisades fire. George Foreman, champion boxer and grill pitchman, dead at 76. A woman drowned her dog in an airport bathroom after being denied boarding, police say. Masked man demands woman sell her Tesla Nazi car in frightening road rage incident. Commerce Secretary says no one but fraudsters would complain about missed Social Security check. Oregon utility officials run up a huge dining tab on ratepayers' dime. Anti-Trump Hollywood stars request administration's help with AI copyright protections, sending an open letter. Conor McGregor touts bid for Irish presidency. March 23, 2025. Discovery of legendary Hall of Records could be the key to unlocking ancient Egypt's mysteries, say scientists, as they reveal yet more mind-blowing findings at the pyramids of Giza. Alleged leader of vegan trans murder cult faces new charges. Active investigation. Biden appointed U.S. attorney who resigned on first day of Trump's term found dead. End of the road. Believe it or not, Dems are actually angry Trump arrested a criminal illegal immigrant with long rap sheet. Why does this Chuck Schumer interview sound like a threat to Republicans? Either change their vote or face the consequences. Bookmakers see 20% chance of third Trump term. 20% of Americans support boycott of firms aligning themselves with Trump agenda. Pentagon announces leak probe that will include polygraphs. DoD sending another guided missile destroyer to U.S.-Mexico border. To fundamentally destroy Canada as a country. Why Canadians must brace for U.S. interference in the upcoming federal election. Autocrats worldwide rolling back rights and rule of law, and citing Trump's example. Israel's culture of cruelty inspires the far-right worldwide, says Pankaj Mishra. Heathrow fire that left 200,000 passengers stranded under urgent investigation. U.S. to import eggs from Turkey and South Korea amid crisis, says Agriculture Secretary. Sauce Walker shot in Memphis outside FedEx Forum. LA City Council seeks crackdown on the N-word and C-word at meetings. A week of cracking down on education and free thought. March 24, 2025. Final proof Jesus was buried in the Shroud of Turin? New audit by top expert uncovers dossier of irrefutable evidence that will rock any non-believer. Trump goes after the artist of his worst portrait. Disney disaster. Snow White bombs. Breaks record for lowest live-action remake debut. Brutal loss for woke Mouse House. Huge fire at Walt Disney World forces 100 to evacuate. Trump to grant full pardon to Hunter Biden whistleblower Devin Archer. He was screwed. Mental disorders among children and teenagers exploded during COVID-19 pandemic, says new study. Kansas Archbishop accuses Satanists of stealing wine and wafers for Black Mass. Humming along in an old church, the Internet Archive is more relevant than ever. Second Lady Usha Vance to visit Greenland as Trump pushes for ownership of the Danish territory. Trump turbulence leads allies to rethink reliance on U.S. weapons. Not all Marines are the same. New Trump guidance suggesting otherwise is racist. U.S. defense leaders lay out Manhattan Project-scale vision for Trump's Golden Dome project. JFK file says CIA contaminated sugar destined for USSR. South Korean court reinstates impeached PM Han Duck-soo as acting president. Ocasio-Cortez leads poll of Democrats on which leader best reflects party's core values. Bernie Sanders storms out of interview when asked about AOC's Senate ambitions. Kristi Noem to visit El Salvador prison that took in Tren de Aragua members. March 25, 2025. The Trump administration accidentally texted me its war plans. Nobody was texting war plans, Hegseth fires back at Atlantic reporter. Trump administration is reviewing how its national security team sent military plans to a magazine editor. Trump administration invoking state secrets privilege over deportation flight information sought by federal judge. Obama-appointed judge argues Nazis got better treatment than departed Tren de Aragua gang members. Trump is shutting down one of the greatest threats to authoritarian regimes. Trump says any country buying Venezuelan oil slapped with 25% tariff. Trump prompts European calls for a homegrown nuclear umbrella. Rubio accuses other countries of blocking peace in Ukraine. Georgia prepares to cancel 455,000 voter registrations. Democrats in Trump-won districts call on party to rebrand. Jasmine Crockett says Ted Cruz has to be knocked over the head, like hard. A judge lost his election. He asked his colleagues to declare him the winner anyway. Taiwan orders 3 mainland Chinese to leave for promoting military takeover. Hart's Nancy Wilson slammed for saying it's more embarrassing than ever to be an American. Then leave. Look up how many Portland shootings happened near your home in 2024. Rodney Jones lawsuit versus Diddy. Judge tosses majority of claims. Scolds his lawyer. March 26, 2025. U.S. says it brokered deal to end fighting in the Black Sea in talks with Ukraine and Russia. Trump downplays national security team texting military operation plan on Signal as minor glitch. Embarrassing. Mike Waltz takes responsibility for disclosing Houthis' attack. Waltz suggests Goldberg may have deliberately hacked into Signal chat. Canada freezes Tesla's $43 million rebate payments and bars it from future rebates because of tariffs. Canada joins other countries in updating travel advisories for U.S. Trump signs executive order requiring proof of citizenship to register to vote in federal elections. DHS terminates Biden's CHNV program used by 500,000 migrants to fly into U.S. Trump requests immediate declassification of materials related to FBI's Russia Crossfire hurricane investigation. Donald Trump is the furthest thing from the fascist his enemies brand him. D.A. Hochman officially brings death penalty back to Los Angeles. Iran's IRGC unveils one of its largest underground missile cities. Secretive Chinese network tries to lure fired federal workers. New report uncovers shocking incompetence in SBA's pandemic fraud detection process. The NIH just officially killed diversity statements in its grant applications. Milwaukee Bucks All-Star guard Damian Lillard diagnosed with unfortunate blood clot in right calf. Prince Harry, an astonishing racist, sexist bullying Roe as chairwoman of his charity set up to honor Diana, takes swipe at those who play the victim card. March 27, 2025. The Trump administration never admits fault. Why is it doing it on Signalgate? Private data of top U.S. officials, including Hegseth and Waltz, found online. Trump administration arrests Turkish student at Tufts and revokes visa. U.S. immigration officials detain doctoral student at University of Alabama. Donald Trump slaps 25% tariff on all autos imported into the U.S. as Mark Carney denounces the move as a direct attack on Canada. Exposed. The CCP's operation in Minnesota. China operatives host fundraiser for Tim Walz. Recently recalled Oakland mayor blames radical right-wing forces for ouster after being raided by FBI and charged with bribery, fraud, money laundering. Kristi Noem's desperate prison stunt while wearing $50,000 Rolex sparks major liberal meltdown. The sickest shit I have ever seen. Enjoy the serenity of the U.S. Vice President nailing headshots at the range. First permanent facial recognition cameras to go up in London despite dystopian warning. California, San Diego becomes first city in U.S. to ban digital-only coupons at grocery stores. Ex-Giants running back LaShawn Johnson allegedly ran massive dogfighting operation. DOJ seizes historic amount of animals. Doctor accused of trying to push wife off scenic Hawaii cliff charged with attempted murder. Bail set at $5 million. Andrew Tate's girlfriend Bree Stern claims he attacked her during sex, files police report. Republicans grill PBS and NPR chiefs as Democrats mock proceedings. Made-up issue. Dem lawmaker says female bodies are just as strong and fast as male bodies. Taxpayers spent billions covering the same Medicaid patients twice. March 28, 2025. Why Trump won't produce a scalp after Signal debate. DOJ attorney said Trump fired her over Mel Gibson's guns. Turns out she was mega progressive activist. Trump executive order on Smithsonian targets funding for programs with improper ideology. Internal White House document shows agencies preparing to cut between 8% and 50% of staff. Musk hides big balls as Doge goons spew wild claims on Fox. U.S. seeks to control Ukraine investment, squeezing out Europe. U.S. planning to annex Greenland since 1860s, says Putin. Vance's planned trip to Greenland is stoking Arctic anti-Americanism. Nearly 450 million people warned to prepare for war with 72-hour survival kits. Deadly, drug-resistant fungus CDC calls urgent threat is spreading in hospitals. Declassified CIA documents claim the Bible's Ark of the Covenant was verified through remote viewing. There are few things more evil than this Episcopal priest explaining to the Georgia legislature why it's righteous to support abortion. White House gets in on Ghibli meme frenzy with image of arrested illegal alien fentanyl dealer. Selena's killer Yolanda Saldivar denied parole, will not be released from prison. Megan Fox welcomes her and ex-Machine Gun Kelly's first child. Prominent Yale professors flee Trump's America for new roles at University of Toronto. Liberals have been waiting for this moment since Trump took office. They need to act now. March 29, 2025. Trump pushes for Greenland takeover despite J.D. Vance moaning it's cold as shit. Trump's bizarre reason why he wants Greenland. World peace. There's something eerily Orwellian about Donald Trump's America, where truth is dismissed as a lie, and lies are disseminated as truth, says Andrew Neil. Top FDA vaccine official resigns, citing Robert Kennedy Jr.'s misinformation and lies. Paranoia rebranded. The EU is desperate to sell its people more Ukraine war. Powerful 7.7 quake rocks Myanmar. Buildings collapse and death toll soars to nearly 700. Elon Musk sells X to his own XAI for $33 billion in all-stock deal. Wisconsin Attorney General sues Elon Musk over $1 million payments to voters. Amazon Studios' girlboss pushed out after failures with Rings of Power and James Bond. Hegseth brought his wife to sensitive meetings with foreign military officials. The gleeful cruelty of the White House X account. Newsom calls the Democratic brand toxic as he defends his podcast. Thousands of Christians counter Satanists' black mass at the Kansas state capitol. Sean Kingston and mom found guilty in fraud trial, facing decades in prison. Young Scooter. Dead at 39 after being hospitalized. Utah officially becomes first U.S. state to ban fluoride in public tap water. How and where to see the double sunrise solar eclipse Saturday morning. March 30th, 2025. Trump says he couldn't care less if auto prices rise because of tariffs. Trump calls Atlantic story fake news, won't fire anyone over signal leak. Shouted questions at Trump have consequences. New actions by White House. Elon Musk's mission to take over NASA and Mars. We will not allow it. Zelensky rejects new mineral draft that would recognize U.S. support as loans. That's plagiarism. Canada's new Prime Minister rocked by academic scandal weeks before election. The New York Times just leveled the Democratic Party and it was well-deserved. White House reporters fire comedian over MAGA insult on Beast Pod. From Seattle to Miami, anti-Musk protesters gather at hundreds of Tesla locations. Adios. Migrant influencer who bragged about squatting in Americans' homes is deported. Immigration policies could wreak havoc on this rural town powered by mushroom farms. Diddy freak-offs are all about consent. Pushed from their jobs, education department workers pack their bags. Judge blocks Trump from firing Voice of America staff. Pete Hegseth commemorates 80th anniversary of Battle of Iwo Jima in Japan, hails warrior ethos. Why conspiracy theorists are trying so hard to falsely link Mark Carney and Jeffrey Epstein. Lego introduces California home set where kids fill out permit and wait 2 years for approval. March 31st, 2025. Putin's limo explodes in front of FSB headquarters 3 days after Zelensky predicted Russian president's imminent death. Iran has readied missiles for potential response amid Trump's escalating threats. Smell of death fills the air near epicenter of Myanmar earthquake. Truckers give dying pup one last ride in a big rig, number 3 value meal at Wendy's before she checks out. Some progress made in recovering U.S. Army soldiers submerged in Lithuanian swamp. Headquarters of New Mexico Republican Party targeted in deliberate act of arson. Aliens are already here and a threat to us all. The Pentagon is covering it up. And I have proof, the chilling warning of a former U.S. intelligence officer with top-level security clearance. I'm not joking. Trump again floats running for anti-constitutional third term. Trump posts crackpot Signalgate conspiracy. Musk gives away $4 million, says destiny of humanity at stake in Wisconsin election. Really problematic. Dem senator throws Gavin Newsom under the bus, blames California for party's toxic brand. Dim mayor arrested after drunk driving with young son in car. Former NYPD Blue star Kim Delaney arrested for felony assault. Beijing almost ready to switch on world's most powerful X-ray light source. Indonesian Sharia clown teaches Islamic values to children. RFK Jr. is about to hand over key vaccine data to a discredited misinformation agent. Why Morgan Wallen bucked SNL tradition and left stage before the rest of cast and crew.